It's been almost 2 years since I sat in my ayahuasca experience. But I didn't find true healing until I actually met God. I thought visions, the ego death, me facing my fear, my reality, that I was going to reach a breakthrough, the breakthrough that I was searching for. And maybe that this ancient brew held the answers to my pain. And in some ways, it did open something. Ayahuasca showed me the wound. It cracked me open. It tore down the masks and it brought down all my shadows. And it brought my shadows to light. But it didn't heal me. It brought me to the edge of death, emotionally and spiritually. I saw myself as a failure, as a complete disappointment, in my most worst and shameful state. And I remember thinking, I want to die. And I fainted. And I remember that the curandero came to me. They rushed to me and they gave me water and electrolytes, trying to bring me back. But here's what I realized. And at that moment, I thought I ruined everything. I thought I wrecked my soul. I was really angry with myself at that point. And what I realized is that ayahuasca showed me the truth about myself, but it couldn't save me from it. It gave me the insight, but it did not give me redemption. It gave me awareness, but it did not give me peace. Ayahuasca made me see the darkness, but God is who carried me through it. Ayahuasca made me face myself, but God forgave me. Ayahuasca made me feel faith in that moment, but God taught me how to live in it daily. And that's the trap. So many people chase healing through psychedelics, through ceremonies, through the next journey. But you can loop in those realms forever. I saw people that were there 50 times already. And ayahuasca is such a interruption to normal life that it's just not sustainable to do. And at that point, what else can you uncover? What else can you rise up to the surface from your past? That's not real healing. And I wasn't healed by another download. I was healed when I let go completely. When I laid everything at the feet of God and said, I can't do this on my own. Lord, help me. Forgive me. And when you accept that, when you truly accept that there's nothing within you that can save you, and that it's only by the grace of God that you can actually find healing, then you actually will. Because there is nothing that we need to do. There's nothing that you have to do. That has already been given to you. There's nothing that you deserve. There's nothing that we deserve as a human. It's simply given to you. Because we're not the ones that bear the burden of all that sin. Jesus did. And it took me a long time to realize that. It took me a long time to find out, to really have it sit within me that the magnitude of what Jesus did. Jesus said, I'm going to love you. And I'm going to take all the bad things that you ever did, and I'm going to take all the punishment for it. And I'm going to die for it. Because God is a just God. And somebody needs to pay. And so God sent his own son to earth to pay. So that you and I could be saved. And there's nobody that deserves that. Nobody deserves somebody else dying for them, especially in the way Jesus did. And so you come to realize that there is a limit to our potential as a human being. Our physical nature of this earth, the things of this earth, can only take us so far. They can uncover, they can guide us, they can help us see things that we didn't really quite understand. I'm not saying there's not a place for psychedelics. I'm not saying there's not a place for things like MDMA, for PTSD, and all these things. But really, true healing comes from laying at the feet of God. And it sounds so crazy for me to say that. I'm really new into my faith, but it sounds really crazy for me to say that right now. I can't believe I'm actually saying it. But it's so true. God is the only one that can turn absolute darkness into absolute light. We can't. We can't, because we all feel shameful for something that we've done in the past. And as much as you try to self-forgive, it's like, how could I forgive myself for that thing? How could I forgive myself for that? Well, you can't. That's the issue. You can get there. You can get really close. But when you realize that there's a God that says, I'm waiting here for you. I'm just waiting here for you. I'm ready to forgive you. And when you just open your arms and receive that forgiveness, you realize that self-forgiveness is one stage of surrender. But the next stage of surrender is going to God. It's like kneeling before him and saying, God, I'm not enough. It's you that needs to take over. Please forgive me. Just take the wheel. And when you do that, and I have been doing that for the last couple months, and I've been on this healing journey for about 5-6 years now of me trying to heal myself. I went to an Ayahuasca retreat. I went to a meditation retreat, Vipassana, done all sorts of things. But true healing has not come until I accepted God and Jesus into my life. Genuinely. It is a whole nother level of love that is felt. And I think ultimately we can use these tools to help us see, help us discover what's there. But for the wounds to actually heal, only God can do that. And so I'm a seeker, and I've been seeking. And there's a journey in personal development, and this is my own personal opinion, that as you approach more and more personal growth and you achieve more goals and you end up having such a rich life. I have such a beautiful girlfriend. I have a beautiful community that I used to not have. I used to be extremely lonely. And then when you reach a point where your life is so rich, there's only a few things that you have to work on every single day to get to. And you realize that what else is there like to self-improvement? Is it just this constant iteration? And yeah, it's like a game. Life becomes a video game. You keep improving, you keep getting better, right? But there's a limit to that, to our own humanness. Like if you want to reach that next level of true spiritual and personal development, the next obvious and logical step is God. And you'll meander through the spiritual practices. A lot of people are getting into Buddhism, mindfulness, right? But if you keep going, it is clear and obvious that it's God. And it's something about us humans wanting control. Like us not wanting to relinquish that control. Like, no, I will do it. I will figure it out. I will manifest it. And we think that we have the power. And we hear a lot of this, new age spirituality, like you are God. You have God, within you, which is true. We do, right? But we haven't fully surrendered to God, though. And so if you don't fully surrender to God's will for you and truly align to that, then you're actually doing your way. You're turning your back against him and doing it your way, which you can. You can go and do it your way. But eventually, you'll reach a point where you just don't know where to go. And where do you turn to at that point? I think the only place you find it, and you'll go through the same cycle. Maybe I need to go move to Colombia like I did. Go to Colombia for 4 months. See if you find it there. See if you find what you're looking for. And wherever you go, there you are, and there go your problems. And they kind of continue to remanifest again until you realize that it is not you that can solve them. It is God. So that's the dark side about ayahuasca. I think a lot of people are going to too many ayahuasca ceremonies. I met people there that were on their 30th, 50th one. And at that point, there's just nothing more to uncover, man. You got to move on with life. And God says, this way. So I invite you to maybe create a connection with God if you're new to your faith. And I'm new to mine. So we're walking in this together. I'm not here preaching. I'm not here telling you to do anything. But I feel so convicted. I feel like I need to share it. So I love you, my friend. And we'll talk on the next one. Cheers.